Good morning and welcome to my channel. My name is Azzy and it is time for another installment of Am I the Jerk? If you have never been here before, what Am I the Jerk is basically I read Am I the A-hole stories and give you my blind reaction on it. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. It's nice to have you here and I can't wait to see you again. If you're new here, welcome back. It's great to see you. Let's jump into it. This story caught my eye because it is something that I have struggled with myself. So me and the OP kind of see the same side of things, as I too was told at a young age that I would not be able to have children. And this talks about her route of getting a surrogate. Luckily for me, my doctors were wrong, and I was able to have my three children without any medical intervention. But unfortunately, it sounds like for her, um, it was not that way. The title is Am I the Jerk for Cutting Off My Surrogate After She Repeatedly Made Me and My Husband Feel Uncomfortable? Um, so first off, just based off the title, I'm gonna say no, you are not the jerk. You should not have a surrogate that makes you feel uncomfortable. It's also amazing that you are willing to let that surrogate, or were willing to let that surrogate, be somewhat in your life after the delivery of the baby, because not every intended parent is like that. This is something I looked into when I was much younger, to becoming a surrogate, um, as as I thought it would be a great way to give that uh, gift of motherhood to somebody, and that was like the ultimate gift that I could do. And not every intended parent does that. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for me to be a surrogate. I just didn't have the support system that they want you to have in the house. Um, it was when I was with my ex, so my ex was just very, no, the only babies you're gonna be having is mine type of person. And the person I'm with now, he would be willing to let me do it, but he's also kind of scared of it because his previous girlfriend, um, who had one of his children, almost died giving during childbirth. So he's kind of spooked about it and doesn't want that to happen unless it's, of course, with one of our children. So I would say no, just based off the title. Um, Says this is a long emotional story, but I will make this as short as possible and get straight to the point. When I, 25 female, was 15, I was in a car accident which left me badly injured due to my injuries, this left me unable to have children. I'm so sorry. That's so devastating. Like I said, I was 13 when I was told I couldn't have children, and that was because I have PCOS. So it makes it very difficult. I couldn't imagine being in a car accident and then being told, sorry, that's not a possibility for you. I'm so sorry you went through that. It's devastating. My husband, who I will call Jack for the sake of this post, has known this since he has met me, and we always agreed that we will use a surrogate when we want children. That is amazing that he's super supportive of that. I love it. Um, Surrogates are not cheap. They are expensive. When I was looking into doing surrogacy, they were saying it would cost, $30,000 just to have a one baby, and that price doubled with twins. And when you're going through IVF, the chances of multiples is much greater. So that's not a cheap route to have a child. And I even had a neighbor once who told me that her son cost her $20,000. So, and that was just through IVF. That was one IVF treatment. So I could not imagine having to go that route. That would be the most stressful financially time. And then of course you're dealing with the emotions of that's my baby in some other person's stomach. So I mean I couldn't even imagine. You're a warrior. About a year ago, Jack and I had talked and agreed that we are ready to have children. We talked about it for a while and decided that we were going to go through an agency, as we didn't feel right asking someone we know personally. We were quickly matched with a woman who I will call Jess. We got the paperwork done, and soon after, Jess then got pregnant with me and Jack's baby boy. Aww, I love babies. That's amazing. I'm so happy that it worked quickly and you were able to get through that process because the process to be a surrogate is long and arduous. I'm excited that that happened so quickly for you guys. She was always super sweet towards myself and Jack, and we saw no red flags or warning signs. However, this quickly changed after our son Owen was born. Once she heard the name, she sort of made a face, but we brushed it off. She shouldn't be making any faces. I wouldn't have brushed it off. That would have been like a huge red flag. Like on TikTok, there is a guy who waves a red flag around. She needs one of those, just trailing behind her like on the airplanes that fly in the sky because that is ridiculous. It's your child. You should be able to name him whatever you want to name him. If you want to name him Sir Paul, you could because that's your son. If you went through the gestational carrier route, then she has no biological ties to that baby. Um, if you went through just the surrogate route where she donated an egg, then yeah, she does. But she still doesn't have a say because she signed the paperwork saying that this isn't, yeah, I'm carrying this child, but this is not my child. I have no say in nothing. I will relinquish whatever biological right I have to this child and give it to you. Like, she needs to just stop making the face. Alright, so sorry about that. My camera froze on my computer. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, she just needs to stop because it's not her child. The paperwork is very clear. Okay, you fill out this long, rigorous paperwork. You also go through a mental evaluation, psychological evaluation is what the word I was looking for, to make sure that you are mentally okay with giving the baby that you carried for 9 months away to the intended parents. Like, she needs to stop. I would have nipped that in the butt right there. Somebody like, you know what? If you don't like the name, then too bad. Give me my child and bye. There's the door. Like, you're not gonna make me feel any type of way because of the name I picked out for my child. That's my child. Then she came over to our house the day after we got to take Owen home and came over every day and stayed for hours, always trying to take him out of our arms or being critical when Jack or I tried to do anything involving Owen. Owen. Yeah. She needs the door. She needs to be kicked out the door. Not just pushed out, like kicked out the freaking door. Like that is ridiculous. Again, that is my child. Don't be trying to take my child. If I let you hold him, great. But that is still, at the end of the day, my child. I will do what I feel like is best for my child. People like this should not be surrogates. They cannot mentally handle it. I don't know where the psychological evaluation fails to see this in some people, but I don't even know because she's obviously feeling some sort of emotion about it. And like I said, I never went through it, so I don't 100% know. But I know after having my children, I was immediately bonded to them. Like, oh, you were the one that was kicking me for 9 months type of feeling. Like, it was just an instant pure love. And I can understand that she may be feeling that as well. But she signed the paperwork saying that she didn't want not like she basically doesn't want anything to do with it is basically what the paperwork says. I've had it all filled out, but I never turned it in because my support system disintegrated. Um, so yeah, you fill out the paperwork that says you're okay with this happening. So it's not like she didn't know that this was going to happen. It's not like she didn't expect for this to happen. She knew that she was not going to be the mother, she was not going to be the parent, that the mother is going to be taking that baby from the hospital, and I'm not going to have a say in how that child's raised. She knew it was going to happen. So she just needs to stop. This went on for about 2 weeks, but yesterday I finally snapped when she picked Owen up and said, "Come to mama." I yelled that she wasn't his mom and that she is no longer welcome in my home. You are a warrior woman, OP, because I probably would have fought with her, honestly. Be like, what are you trying to do? Kidnap my child? That is my child. Not yours, mine. You signed the paperwork. I keep going back to the paperwork, but it's true. You signed the paperwork to give that child over to the intended parents, aka his mom and dad. Therefore, you don't get the right to call yourself mama. You're not his mom. I She then sent me a bunch of angry texts claiming I was so ungrateful and being a huge witch with a B. I stand by my decision, but I feel guilty about the way I reacted. Am I the jerk? No, no, still not the jerk, in my opinion. Absolutely not. She signed the paperwork, you signed the paperwork, you agreed to let her birth your child. That's your child. She doesn't have the right to call herself mama. Okay, even if it's one of those come to mama situations where you're just being goofy. I have never, ever, ever told my cousin who calls me auntie to when she's talking about me to her child. I've never said to that child, come to mama, because I'm not the child's mother. I have never done it to any of my friends who have kids. I was gonna say children, but it came out as children and kids at the same time. I apologize. Uh, I've never done it to anybody because I'm not the mom. She sounds like your surrogate is having a hard time with letting go. And I probably wouldn't advise her to be a surrogate again because she does have this hard time. She's probably going to be one of those surrogates that go crazy and try to kidnap the child. Not saying she's going to do that with your child, but I'm just saying potentially in like the future, I don't know what could happen. She's obviously feels some type of way towards your child. I don't know if she donated an egg and that's why she feels that bond and has made her brazen enough to call herself mama to your child, but that's not okay because she signed the paperwork. She signed all the legal documents saying she had no right to that child. Therefore, she is not the mother at all. 100% not the mom. And therefore, you are 100% not the jerk for protecting your child and kicking her out because that child's just going to be super confused if she were to do this when he's 10 years old, 8 years old, 13 years old. Like he's just going to be confused. And it's not her place to put herself in that position before you have a chance to talk to him. You don't know what he's going to do. What she's going to do, I mean, not he. What she's going to do down the road if you let this continue or let her back into your lives. She could tell him at 5 years old, I'm your real mom. You were in my stomach. And that little boy is going to be so confused because the people he's known for 5 years as his mom and dad, all of a sudden, that's not my mom? What do you mean that's not my mom? So confusing. And she should not be around your child, 100%. I wouldn't let her around my children. 100%. No, thank you. There's the door. You crossed that line. I had no problem with you being auntie and sending you updates and giving you pictures and texting you about how he's doing, but you crossed the line by calling yourself mama because you're not the mom. Legally, I am the mom. So OP, you are not the jerk, and that's the exact stance that I would take on it because I'd be so angry. So angry. You are an absolute warrior of a woman to go through something like so traumatic so young. and then pulling through on the other side. And now you have a beautiful family. And I'm so happy to see where that takes you.